I thought I wanted to I wanted to film from the right side because last time I did it on the left side, and I'm trying to balance it out. I'm a Libra, can you tell? The scales, I'm trying to balance everything out because we like to weigh our options before we make a decision, and it can take a long time, especially me. It took me a while to figure out college wasn't for me while I was in college. I ended up I wasn't a fan of like the no extra credit rule, but like because like when I was in high school I used to think like, oh, I'm sure like in because high school, like, you don't really, do you get extra credit in high school? I can't remember if mine did or not, but anyways, in in my college, like, there was actually a teacher that offered me extra credit because I was doing so bad in his class, and he felt so bad for me. He's like, it was a math class, but it was like, in my defense, it was like a very difficult math class, and I've never been that good at math anyway. So, but I wanted to like, like, challenge myself, so I signed up for it stupidly, and then he ended up just giving me like some extra credit that I had to turn in like before like the end of the last day of school in that semester, and ended up passing. And he kept like scratching and itching his crotch while I was in the same room with him, and I didn't want to like make a big deal about it, even though it kind of like offended me, because he was like a nice guy. He wasn't like a creep. He wasn't like, hey, do you wanna do you wanna watch me like itch myself? He wasn't like that. He was just like, he was very nonchalant about it. So the first couple of times I let it go, and I didn't say anything, and then he kept doing it, and then I started staring at his crotch because he like wouldn't stop, like, because at first I thought like maybe he had to like, like, adjust himself, because like I'm sure like guys and balls and stuff, sometimes they get in the way when you're like sitting or walking. So like it's understandable, but like he kept doing it and he wouldn't stop, and I was like, oh my god. And I told my mom, and she's like, oh my god, he was like totally like masturbating in front of you. And I was like, no, he wasn't. That is just gross. He was really old too, so it wasn't even sexy. But anyways, no offense to old people, but you guys aren't my type. um because just you just don't do anything for me. I'm sorry. But did you hear? I heard a rumor that The Bachelor is gonna do like one for old people. So now I cannot. So now old people can watch some other people on TV have more fun than they're having while they're playing bingo, and they can watch some other old people like go off into the sunset with their dream date while they're sitting in the nursing home, like just sitting there like being like, I feel like I'd be one of those old people in the future. I'd be one of those like cranky old people in the future probably. Because like at the time when I was dating my boyfriend, he said I complained about everything, which I guess like I guess I lacked the self-awareness at the time. Anyways, but isn't that odd? Like in the Dr. Seuss books, isn't that jerk, like, isn't one of the characters like a big jerk, like in Critical Colleen? I don't think that's even a phrase. Can we make it a phrase? Okay, I coined it. Critical Colleen, because I don't know any Colleens. I don't think. Sorry, Colleen. If you're not critical, I'm sorry, but I'm naming Critical after you, Colleen. No offense. It's nothing personal. I just couldn't think of a name that started with a C, and your name was the first name that popped in my head. Anyway, so what was I saying? Oh yeah. So then, so like in the Dr. Seuss books, like, I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam I am. So at first, like when the guys like saying like, I don't like green eggs and ham, you're like, okay, I get it. You don't like green eggs and ham. It's not a huge deal. And it's like, and then he keeps like talking about it, and then he's like no one ever like points that out. Like he keeps complaining and complaining and complaining about how much he doesn't like it, and me thinks he protests too much because he was like saying, like in the book, it's like over and over and over again, just saying, I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam I am. I do not like them with a fox. I do not like them in a box. I do not like them here or there. I do not like them anywhere. And he just like goes on and on and on about how much he hates green eggs and ham. And my thinking is like how, what kind of green eggs ham were you eating if you hated it that much? And who are you complaining to? Like the guy in Starbucks, like the guy next to you in Starbucks, you just turn around and just start complaining about green eggs and ham, how much you don't like them? Because I forget how the book like starts off. Like, is he just walking with his friend, and then he just starts like going a tirade about how much he hates green eggs and ham? I hate them, Sam I am. you know it's just so bizarre, isn't it? Like when you think of these things, and like how the Grinch, like, I don't know, he was just, I don't want to talk about him, but anyways. So I had a thought. What if Abe Lincoln was talking to his wife in the theater? And what if he was like just saying, he's like, you know what? And she's like, what? And he's like, what if I became an actor? And then John Booth was walking past him like in the background, and then he like stopped, and he was like carrying a tray because he works in the theater or something as just like a stagehand or something, and then he stopped to what he was doing, and he looked around, and then he like listened, and then Abe Lincoln's like, yeah, like, what do you think, honey, if I became an actor? Like I could totally be the next, like, not John Booth, but like, you know what I mean? Like, I could become an actor in my next like career move. Would that be interesting? And then John Booth is like, yeah, no, I don't. And then he's like, oh, come on, what do you mean? And then John Booth is like, I'm an actor. And then Abe Lincoln is like, you're an actor. And then John Booth gets mad at him because he doesn't mean to insult him, but Abe Lincoln was just surprised because he's like, you're not that famous. How do I know you're really an actor? And then John Booth gets mad at him and sulks away. You know what I mean? Like, it would just be awful, wouldn't it? If that was what happened. I'm not blaming Abe Lincoln for his death. I'm just saying, like, that would be kind of funny if he was like talking to his wife and that was what he said before he got shot. If he was just like, maybe I should become an actor. And then John Booth was like, you would never. like, and then he got like jealous of him. And then he's like, he can't take my thunder. He can't take my, this is my theater. This is my kind of, you know what I mean? Like how like really crazy like psychopaths get, like they want, well, I don't know, because I don't know any, luckily, thank God. Or maybe not for psychopaths. I guess they think Satan, I guess. Anyways. So, like, I remember, I was in an elevator once with one of my cousins. I was on vacation, and it was really funny. One of my aunts, we're going downstairs, like, from the hotel room or whatever, because we were just, like, we're gonna go swimming. So then, like, we're in this elevator with this, like, really creepy guy that we don't know, and he's, like, breathing really heavily, and he's just, like, staring at my younger cousin. Like not just, like, normal stare, like you just, like, kind of look and you look away. He was, like, staring at him and, like, breathing heavily, but he was kind of, in his defense, he was kind of, like, chubby, so maybe that was why he was breathing heavily or whatever, but it was kind of creeping me out, because of the breathing heavily and the staring, like, both, like, bad combination, and there he had both of them, and it's a bad combination for anyone, whether you're skinny or fat, or chubby, or whatever, or vertically or horizontally challenged, I don't know, but anyway, so, he was breathing heavily, and staring at my younger cousin, and my younger cousin, obliviously, he says, like, the tension in the elevator is so thick as we're going down and it seems like forever, and I'm just staring at the wall and I can't even make eye contact with the guy because I don't know what to say to him, and that's never happened to me before, so I'm just like staring at the wall, the elevator doors, and like hoping like it's like a quick like drop, like not that we all die, but like hoping it's like, you know what I mean, like we get there quickly. Anyway, so then my younger cousin, he looks up at him and he's like obliviously, my younger cousin looks up at the guy and he says enthusiastically, we're going swimming. And then I just started laughing as soon as we got out of the elevator, because I was like, oh my god, like what if that was like a really bad like creeper guy, and now he knows like we're going swimming, now he knows where we're going, and my younger cousin just blew our cover, you know what I mean? Oh man, it was so funny though. Me and my aunt, we were just laughing about it, like the not the rest of the day, but like that'd be sad if that was like the funniest thing that happened to us like ever. And we were laughing about it the whole day. That would be really crazy. That would be crazier than what actually happened. But we were like laughing about it a few minutes later because it was like how funny, like because kids say the darndest things, Do you like Tiffany Haddish? Do you watch her show? Kids say the darndest things. I feel like we don't need a show for that. Like that's just like any kid. Like, what are you just have to be a kid to be on the show? Is that the qualification? Because the guy in the Teletubby show, he just had to be a baby to be on. He had, like, the easiest line on the whole Teletubby show. He just had to be the son. He just had to literally, like, just sit there and be a baby and just, like, do baby things. And then he got, like, and then some guy was like, that's it. I found our baby, and the baby was just, like, sitting there, and then the son was, like, the guy who thought of the Teletubbies was just sitting in his house, and he was, like, having, like, not a nervous breakdown, but he was having writer's block, and he looks up, and the sun was setting, and then he looks over at his, like, he looks at his son, who's a baby, and he's just kind of, like, staring at him, and then he's like, and he sees the sun kind of rise slowly, and then behind the baby, and it starts, like, kind of glowing, and then he's like, that's it! Yes, the baby is gonna be the sun. And then he just like rushes into the room, and then he tells everyone because he's so excited. And then the Teletubbies end up being like a really good show. I mean, be on TV. Good enough to be on TV anyway. Because I never was a huge fan of it. I thought it was a bunch of crap. Because, I mean, like, seriously, like, they were so addicted to the TV and looking at their stomach all the time that they never learned how to talk. Like, are you serious? And then they let them on TV? Like, they couldn't talk English. At all. They didn't even try. They had names that, they had, like, the weirdest, bizarre names that no one would ever name their kid. And then on top of that, they had a vacuum that ate pancakes that didn't even have a plug-in to the wall. Wasn't it just like a vacuum that was like by itself? This is before the actual like isn't there like a circular vacuum now that like sweeps the floors? Now we have that, but the Teletubbies had it first, and they were like back then I was like, so they were kind of like show-offs, weren't they? They're like, oh, look at me, look at my stomach, and then it has like, they're like, it's like, okay, we get it, like you like stealing cable, and you figured out a way to like, you're like, you know, like, are you just having an acid trip at this point? And, like, the thing is, like, because I've heard, like, Papa Legba, like, sometimes people give him alcohol. And my thing is, like, can you give, like, demons weed? Like, will they be okay with that? This is a serious question, by the way. Like, how do you calm demons down? Do you just give them weed? Because, I mean, if they're spirits, like, can't they get high, too? Or no? Like, I'm being actually very serious, but kind of funny, though, too, at the same time. Like, I would think, like, I think it would be fun to get high with a demon, don't you? But it might be kind of dangerous, because it's like playing Russian roulette, but, like, with a demon instead of actual gun, you know what I mean? Like, it would just be like, wow. So, yeah. I just, you know, every time when I used to go shopping with my mom, she used to say, every time I'd be trying on clothes, she'd knock on the door from the outside of the dressing room, and she'd say, how are you making out, Willis? And I would be like, I'm fine, Mom. And she'd be like, okay, and then I'd be, like, so embarrassed, because, like, it would sound like she's like, oh, how are you making out? Like, there's just, like, the words together sounded really bad, you know what I'm saying? Like, it sounds like I'm making out with someone, and she wants to know how it is, like, that's how, but she'd always say it, and it came out, you know, I ever know someone who, like, they say that, they don't say the, like, the bad things, but, like, how they say it comes out really bad, but they don't mean that way? Well, that's kind of my mom. She says, like, sometimes, like, or like I said to I had one of those moments too, though, like with one of my boyfriends at the time. He was my boyfriend still, but we were walking in it was like one of those like vegetarian places, like a vegetarian like food, like a Joe's like grocery store or something. I forget the name of the grocery store, but it was for like strictly like vegetarians or something, like where they didn't have like a lot of like snack foods or like a lot of chocolates or a lot of like, you know, like a lot of fatty foods. They just had like really healthy stuff. And I was walking with him, and I'm like, and without thinking, I said to my boyfriend, I'm like, babe, and then he's like, yeah, and I'm like, is this hell? And then he like paused, and he just was like, and I go, cause it feels like hell. And then I paused, and I said to me, and then I didn't realize I said it kind of loudly, then I like meant to, and I look over, and there was like a worker that was like right there, and I was like, and then I looked at my boyfriend, and I was like, and it was like really embarrassing, and I felt so ashamed after that, because I didn't mean to like insult the place, but like in my opinion, like that would be hell to me. Just like a bunch of healthy foods, and I'm just like, there's like no like ice cream, there's no chocolates or anything, there's just like, and they didn't even have like, you know, like the generic grape soda. They had like just grape juice or something. Like it was that kind of healthy, like where it was just like strictly like healthy foods and drinks and stuff, and like, and it was like really awful to be there. And I was like walking around getting like feeling like I was on sugar, like on high, like, but I was like sober, and I was like look I was like maybe like on like I looked like maybe I was on crack, because I was like looking around the place like going like this, like looking for like some sugar, some chocolates, but after every aisle it was like, no, it was just more healthy food, and I kept going like this, and I kept scratching my arms too, because I kept getting nervous, and I'm like, oh man. So maybe I did look like a crack user or something. It's my lips were chapped too, I think. So maybe I did kind of look like a person who would use crack, and maybe is that was what they do? Is that their mannerisms? Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Just trying to be funny. Have an awesome day.